Take a look here at the next drill in our backstroke body positioning series. We've explored kicking on both sides and also we'll be exploring rotation. In our previous version of this drill, we looked at being very popped here on the left side. This version of the drill is going to be a little less popped, or what we just consider just popped. We like this drill because it kind of teaches a little bit more the natural rotation, what we like to kind of see in backstroke. So let's go over the key items and what we look for. With this drill, we're going to be using two items. We're going to be using a cup or an object on the head. The cup has a little bit of water in it so that it just doesn't flail completely over, but not to the point where it's so heavy it'll completely stay on. So you've got to find that right balance for your athletes. We actually really like rubber ducks for this, but a cup can do fine. And then we've got fins on. Fins here just help us move through the water and are our primary source of propulsion. So let's go over the key items of this drill and what we look for. We're going to start out here with the kick. What we look for is the feet being in a pointed position, just like this here on the right side. Our fins are forcing us to do that. And then here on the left side, the fins are forcing those feet to be pointed. What we look for then is just as good what we're going to say is a natural bend in the knee. We don't want those legs to be so stiff that they don't bend at all. And we don't want them to be so bent where there's a lot of knee movement, but not a lot of traction. So what do we mean by that? We mean kind of something like this. If the knee was completely bent and has a 90-degree bend or more here, very deep under the water, we're not going to really be able to move too far up. Same thing here. If we kind of had a lift in the hips, which would actually be really weird to see, and then we kind of see this back and forth movement with the knee and just kicking air. That's not really going to kind of help us move through the water. What we want to see is some knee flexion. So here on the left foot at this frame, the foot is going downward or into the down portion of the kick. We want our athlete to kind of think about like there's a ball here at the surface and we have to have a forceful kick up. One of the most important things when we're kicking is that we are seeing turbulence up here at the surface. If you watch some of our other videos, we've already referenced this before, but we kind of call this thunder kick or white water or boiling water. Kind of all those things mean the same thing. We just want to see everything being up here at the surface level when we are performing the kick. And here our athlete has a big opportunity to get some improvement in that area wearing the fins. As we take a look then, before we move on here, so if we're doing those items, then we should see just some great activation here from the hip. We'll really utilize the hamstring and quadricep muscles, one of the strongest muscle groups in the body, and have a great kick. We'd like to see the arms here, since we're not moving the arms at all, we're just going to be doing strokes with the arms. The arms here are going to stay at the side, and we want to just focus on just being popped out of the water. So kind of what we mean by that is just those hips and shoulders are just kind of just peeking out as we're moving through. The cup here is going to stay on the head, and just again, if we have any sort of head movement, whether that's going to be side to side or up and down, then that cup will topple over or your object will topple over. Just have your athlete grab it, put it back on, and then just continue to go through. Here we look for just that head to stay nice and steady. What we look for is the head here being about halfway under as we're traveling through the water. And just we want a nice moderate kick to kind of move us through the water here as we're moving through. Your athletes are also going to need to have some really good, strong core movement right here, or engagement as they're moving through the water. So just that everything is staying nice and steady. Some swing here might be expected a little bit. We just would like to see that be just as minimized as possible as we're moving through the water. And our athlete's doing a great job there. As we transition to going under, so we can kind of take a look here a little bit more. So we kind of said that knee flexion really being, if it's a little bit greater than that or approaching that 90-degree mark, it's going to probably be a little too much. That's kind of what we mean right here. Our athlete's doing a good job of getting those feet pointed, which we want. So we would kind of want to see the feet go just a little bit under. And right here is going to probably be right about there, probably be about good. And then just we've got to really force those feet to get up to the surface as we're then moving through the water. And we kind of see those legs stay deep. So the more those feet stay up at the surface overall, that's going to be great. And remember, our athletes are going to be able to perform drills to various ability levels. So it's just really important that we're continuing to engage, give them feedback so that they can be the best possible versions of themselves. Here, next, what we're going to take a look to do is just our return view. So we're going to look at those key items. The head here is staying in a great position as we're moving through the water. The shoulder here just pops. So kind of see just how it's just out of the water right there. And then got a little bit of movement, just again, we want to minimize that swaying movement. And our athlete, as he feels that, is able to shift. Arms stay at the side. And then we just look for the feet to get up to the surface just a little bit more, which we've already kind of, talked about. At times we see that the foot breaking there. We just like to see it just, again, a little bit more than what is happening. And then we're going to just take a quick look at the underwater view. So here again, so you can just see what a good example of the head positioning is. And then here, again, really good positioning here of the hips and shoulders as we're moving. And just here, this is actually a good amount of kick going under the body. So as we kind of talked about earlier, got to get those feet up and just kick a little bit more here at the surface. Overall, if you found some great value out of this, be sure to drop a like and subscribe.